Dare we be optimistic about the LA Chargers? The Kings' turbulent road trip continues. We'll tell you why nobody wants to sit next to the coach on the plane. And Caleb Williams gets an award he probably doesn't give a damn about. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is December 13th, 2022, travel day. I'm going to be back in the air this afternoon. Miserable for every one of those 2,000 plus miles. Take pity on my soul. But what the hell? Let's be happy while we have the chance. If you like the content that we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It's why I created the bloody show in the first place. So before we go through the news and notes, quick look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, Paul George drops 26 points. Kawhi Leonard adds a season-high 25. Clippers 113, Celtics 93. Meanwhile, today, the Lakers play the Celtics. Anytime Boston loses, like last night, should already get a little bit happier. The Lakers could still be 2-10, and I'd want their odds to be in favor of this one. Meanwhile, the Kings, they're over in Buffalo. That game's at 4. Rasmus Kupari, Jordan Spence, they've been recalled from LA's minor league affiliate in Ontario, California. Victor Arvidsson is apparently out. Question for you, though. What do you think about the odds for the LA Chargers after that win on Sunday night? Because things, honestly, they appear to be looking up. Maybe, just maybe, they're finally figured things out. Currently, they hold the last spot in the AFC playoff bracket, which is sure as hell better than 9th. That's where they were going into the weekend. Moreover, they are now openly talking about getting both defensive end Joey Bosa and left tackle Rashawn Slater back before the end of the regular season. Both of them were injured in an embarrassing loss to Jacksonville in week 3. Now, getting either one of them back would be glorious for them. If you recall, before the season, you're sitting there envisioning this terrifying pass rush of Khalil Mack on one side, Joey Bosa on the other. And it just didn't happen after that injury to Bosa. And of course, Slater was a Pro Bowler as a rookie. And so you're thinking of somebody who's going to protect your franchise quarterback for 10, 12 years. Without Slater in the lineup, LA dropped all the way to 21st in something called pass block win rate. So Brandon Staley, to be clear, he hasn't provided a timeline for either player to come back. But I want to give you guys optimistic reasons for the Chargers, whether it comes to pass or not. In the third quarter of Sunday's victory over Miami, you might have seen this. Herbert threw a 55-yard bomb to Mike Williams. Now, that particular pass lifted Herbert to number 1 in passing yards for the first 3 years of a quarterback's career. He passed up Andrew Luck by doing so. Herbert now has 13,056 career passing yards, and the season isn't even close to being over yet. Also, if you recall in that particular play, it was a bootleg. I bring that up because LA called a lot of bootlegs, a lot of play action passes against Miami to help limit that pass rush that the Dolphins were going to try to put together. Herbert's touchdown pass also came on a bootleg. So a stat keeper said Herbert used play action on more than half of the designated pass plays the Chargers called. It makes you wonder why the Chargers weren't doing this from, say, game 1. But whatever, if you're figuring it out now, so be it. Finally, I mentioned in the rapid recap that the defense deserved a ton of credit for limiting the Dolphins' big play offense to just 10 pass completions. Herbert can do that in a quarter and a half. They limited Tagovailoa to 10 pass completions for the entire game. Now, prior to the game, I said I believe that the Chargers would play deep. They would utilize a lot of nickel and dime coverages to limit Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. For the most part, I was right, but LA added a twist. They did play deep. They did play a lot of nickel and dime defense, but they took 2 cornerbacks and put them up on the line of scrimmage to press Hill and Waddle. The idea was if you played all of them back, then Hill and Waddle would get a free sprint down the field and potentially pass the defense by with that much headway. Didn't happen. Well, it did happen on one touchdown, but it didn't happen for the entire game. Rookie Jasir Taylor was given a lot of credit after the game for the work he did. Did you know that the LA Kings have gone an entire month without winning consecutive games? Ouch. You could say that their last quality win came in Edmonton on November 16th, and I remember that game very well because after the game, I went into this, I broke down their defensive structure and how it was transforming the Kings from a team that would hit you a lot to a team that was defensively responsible without having to hit you, the 1-3-1 zone, how it was designed to keep opponents from gaining speed through the neutral zone. Serves me right for watching hockey on acid, wouldn't you say? There I was telling you the Kings reinvented their defense and reinventing themselves on the fly. They gave up 9 goals in one game, for Pete's sakes. There's a ton of odd man rushes. Said Coach Todd McClellan, it's the carelessness that's killing us, unquote. Do you really want to hang out with that guy on the plane flight into Buffalo? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. In the meantime, Phoenix Copley, the guy who was called up from Ontario when the Kings sent Cal Peterson down. Anyway, Copley, the reserve goaltender, he was in the net twice since being called up. The Kings have won both games. Maybe you see him tonight. USC's Caleb Williams was named a first-team All-American, but let's just be real. You win the Heisman Trophy. Who gives a damn about being on an AP list, right? You got to figure Williams is like somewhere in a dorm room, maybe in a mansion off campus for all we know. And there he is watching somebody polish up his Heisman Trophy and the phone rings. Hey, Caleb, it's the AP on the line. You're an All-American. Yeah, thanks. That really means a lot now. That bunch of slob sports writers who can't even throw a spiral put me on a list. What a special occasion that must be. Oh, they want a quote? Yeah, make up something about being honored or whatever. I'm just going to put this trophy on the hood of my car and drive it around campus, all right? Kind of got more pimp-tacular things to do right now. I would love to see somebody drive around with the Heisman Trophy on the hood, by the way. Even if it was a Hyundai, that's pimped out. Over at UCLA, by the way, the UC Regents are going to get together tomorrow, not today, to potentially decide whether or not UCLA gets to join the Big Ten along with USC. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Meanwhile, for UCLA football, Zach Charbonnet was named to the Associated Press's second All-America team. And also for the Bruins basketball team, they're heading east. They're going to play 2 teams in the top 25 this week on the East Coast. UCLA is on a bit of a roll. They've risen to number 17 in the latest rankings. We'll see how much that matters over the weekend or how much that rises. You might recall, I had been putting together a list of players that the Dodgers were allegedly interested in. Sports writers were just flowing out the rumors, man. They were just passing out these rumors like freebies of Viagra at an AARP meeting. As you can tell, it's all the way down to 16. The Dodgers have not included anyone on the list, actually. And by the way, the list got all the way up to 27, 28 names. It's down to 16 now. Everybody else took those names. So another name came off the list of that I put together. I forget which one. I just erased it. I think I've proven my point. The point being that sports writers are a bunch of gossipy little bitches. Fangraphs is an analytics-based group. I would be lying if I claimed I could explain all analytics to you. Having said that, the group thinks LA holds the 6th best roster in baseball at the moment, according to the wins above replacement stat. What is wins above replacement? Who gives a crap? I don't know. Why do I want to try and research that? I would rather read a 10,000-page report on mask mandates than to try to figure out wins above replacement. I would rather proofread the lyrics of mumble rap songs for spelling and grammar than figure out wins above replacement. I don't care. At a certain spot, you got to sit there and say, there's too many stats to try to keep a handle on. I don't care. The upshot, the Dodgers aren't the favorites to win the world title. What are you going to do? Finally, the Rams have claimed defensive lineman Larrell Murchison. He was released by Tennessee. The way that the national press has treated Baker Mayfield, I'm expecting Skip Bayless or ESPN at any moment to ask if Murchison is going to be the next Aaron Donald. But that's the way things are. So let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know what you think about what's been going on with the LA Kings defense. Let me know what you think about the Chargers' chances. Granted, it's not a winning streak. They just won one game. But are you optimistic again? For that matter, what about Boston coming into town and losing to the Clippers? Or USC's Caleb Williams getting put on a list he probably didn't even realize existed? Let me know what you think in the comments thread. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corte El Queso production. Take care.